everybody. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jenna. If you're new, welcome to my channel, Queen of Diamonds. I hope to see you stick around. I'd love to have you here. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back and thank you so much for continuing to tune in. Today I am here with a WIP and chat. It has been 2 weeks since I've done a WIP and chat. So I have a lot to fill you in on that has been going on in these 2 weeks. Before we get started with the WIP and chat, it's actually going to be a kitten chat, and here's why. So today, all of my canvases are over at my mom and dad's house because that's where I filmed my month in review for December. I'm gearing up for my year in review. Side note, my year in review will be coming out Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to work on it this weekend. It's taking me a bit to get all of the canvases together because some of the canvases are here. Some of them are over at my mom and dad's house. I'm trying to get it all in one place so that I'm not flipping back and forth. Anyway, that's my side note. All my canvases that I'm currently working on, my 26 WIPs, are at my mom and dad's house. So I was trying to decide which canvas I want to target in January here at home. I know which one I'm targeting at work. It's Sunflower Rebellion from Distracted by Diamonds. But I wanted to bring something here to have in the evenings when I come home and on the weekends. So I asked my oldest daughter, Kennedy, who is 23, which diamond painting she thought I should bring here to work on this month at home. And she said, "Where is my Winnie the Pooh?" For those of you who are new, watching me for the first time, let me explain really quickly. Kennedy recently found out she is pregnant with my first grandbaby. It's a boy, and she is doing his nursery all in the old vintage Winnie the Pooh. And she wanted me to do a diamond painting. And as we all know, or most of us know, Diamond Art Club has a beautiful Winnie the Pooh kit called The Parade, which was archived, or not archived, sold out. It's not archived. Let me make that very clear. It's not archived. It was sold out when I looked. I was really sad because I really wanted to get The Parade to do for my grandson. Yes, it's a boy. Did I already say that? I can't remember. I'm so scatterbrained tonight. I'm going to try to get with the program here in a minute. But anyway, she wanted me to do The Parade. And because it was all sold out, my ex-husband Keith, who also diamond paints and has a very large collection of Diamond Art Club diamond paintings, he had The Parade, to my dismay. So he said I could have it. So I now have in my possession The Parade. It is counted as one of my 26 WIPs, even though I technically haven't even started it yet. I'm counting it as a WIP because I'm in a WIP detox until I get all 26 of my kits done. If you are interested, check out my introduction to my WIP detox video. I posted it 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, I think. I think I posted it on New Year's Day. Is anyone else in a blur from Christmas to New Year's? It's just like a blur. It takes me a little bit to get adjusted. Anyway, so I have The Parade in my possession, but I haven't kitted it up, and that is what we're going to be doing tonight. Because Kennedy said, you're not going to be doing any kitting up for a while, so why don't you do a kit and chat on your channel? She watches my channel, so she knows what a kit and chat is. And I thought, you know what? That's a really valid point. It's going to be a long time before I kit up. I actually have 2 diamond paintings. Well, 3 if you count the mystery kit. But I can't show the mystery kit when I'm kitting it up because it's a mystery. But I have 2 other kits that I haven't kitted up yet. One is from Captured by Radiance, and it is called Classico de Fleur by Romance Art. It's so beautiful. I haven't kitted that one up yet, but I have started that one. I started it to show what it looked like with the drills down when I did the unboxing, but it's still not kitted up. So that one is waiting to be kitted up, and The Parade hasn't been kitted up. So we're going to kit up The Parade, and I don't know if I'll have time at the end to work on it at all, but we're going to give it our best shot. Let me show you a picture of The Parade. Where did all of my stickers go? I had them here, and now I don't know what I did with them. Oh, here they are, I think. I think this is my little envelope. Yeah. Okay, this is The Parade. I'll give you the little image of this beautiful diamond painting. Isn't that cute? It's all of the characters from Winnie the Pooh, and it's all the classic vintage Winnie the Pooh, which is what she's looking for. So that's what I'm going to be kitting up and maybe starting. All right, let me see. I'm going to throw that away because I've got a million of those. Here's my bronze card. Tuck that away for later. And these are all of my stickers. Now, I do have a couple of different kits that I can use for The Parade. The parade has 76 colors. Is that right? I don't have my glasses on yet. Yes, 76 colors. And Classico de Fleur has, I have that sticker sheet right here, 67 colors. So I was trying to decide how I wanted to kit all of these up. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's going to be gorgeous too. But I'm going to kit up the parade today. I have 2 different storage systems that will hold that many colors. And I think I'm going to use this new storage system that I've never used before for the parade. And that's what we're going to use tonight. I'm going to put this other one, I'm going to tuck it away. Fallon, I won't disturb you on the bed. Okay, this is the storage kit that I recently bought. I'm going to turn my bright light on. I know it makes the lighting weird, but it's the only way that I can see. And I'm going to put my glasses on. Okay, I bought this off of Amazon, and I liked it because it's a little bit different than the regular screw-on top bottles, which is mostly what I use. This is the kit from Amazon, and in this box we have the large chunky Tic Tac boxes. So I thought it would be kind of fun to try something different. This holds 96 of those little bottles. So that's more than enough to do the parade. I'll have empty bottles for sure. I'm just trying to decide, it's kind of a tight fit. I might have to take some of these bottles out. We'll see as we go. But the one thing I'm a little concerned about is I use press-on nails. And opening these bottles can be really hard on these nails, and these nails will split easily down the middle, especially my thumb. Happens all the time. So what I can do is just use tweezers to flip that open. So let me show you that again. There we go. I'm going to change your angle so that you can see this a little bit better, but I ran into this problem when I was using the Diamond Art Club storage bottles. But the tweezers work really well, and I think that's what I'll do. I think I'm going to use these. And we'll try these out. I mean, I'm really excited to try it. I think this was like $19.99 on Amazon, something like that. I'll link it in the description box of the video, but it's something like that. Anyway, that is what we're going to do, and then I will kit Classico de Fleur up another time, but Kennedy really wants me to get started on the parade. I mean, she's due in 5 months, so I do need to start on it. But I'm going to be starting the other one too. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to change your angle so that you'll be looking down at this. Anyway, I'm going to change your angle so that you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. I don't have a funnel for these. This is the funnel I use for my screw-on top bottles. I have a funnel for the Elizabeth Ward storage containers, and I have a funnel for the little Tic Tac bottles, but I don't have a funnel. My guinea pigs are active. Every time I film lately, they get active. I don't have a bottle for this size of storage container, which is okay. I mean, I do have this funnel I can use if I get in a bind and I'm really having trouble with static, but we're going to try it and see how it goes. Now, as you know, most of you are familiar with Diamond Art Club, so you know that they come in the heat-sealed bags, which is challenging to say the least. I'm going to move that for a second and my stickers for a second. Okay, I'm going to move my light board because having a light board under your kitting up process can cause static, so I've been told. So just in case, I'm going to unplug my light board and move that out of the way. Luckily at home, I don't use my big A1. Oh, I'm so sorry, Fallon. I thought you were on the bed. I didn't see him back there, and I just scared him with the light board. Sorry, Fallon, buddy. I don't have my A1 light board here. I have my A1 light board at work. I just don't have room for it here. So that one's a little bit easier to move out of the way. All right, let me see. I'm just making sure. I'm doing a mental check to make sure I have everything I need for this kit up process. It's getting kind of late, so I am getting tired, but rather than yawn the whole time, I have my coffee here, which is in this cute cup. Look at that. It's like an oversized teacup with butterflies. Isn't that cute? It's very pretty. So that's the coffee cup I'm using. And I also have my water bottle that Kennedy bought me for Christmas. This is so nice. Very nice, convenient water bottle. because I will need my drinks. And I'm going to take my bracelet off so it's not clinking the whole time. I'm putting my water bottle on my cute little coaster from Sparkling Nana. It's a mermaid. Now I know we're not kidding up a mermaid, but I can never, I can always justify having a mermaid is what I'm trying to say. I can't believe it's been 2 weeks since I've done a WIP and chat, but that's how it gets in Christmas, right? The holidays just make things crazy. Let's see. Here is my Winnie the Pooh box with all of the drills in it. So I'm going to change your angle. I need to take Fallon out, and I'll be right back, and we will get started on this kitten chat. He decided he didn't want to go outside with me, but you just watch. Mark my words. He's going to be scratching on my door in just a minute because he's going to want to go out. Let me change your angle so that you're looking down at this box. I have all my drills in here and my toolkit. I'm going to take these Ziploc bags out because I'll probably be needing those. And put that off to the side. We've got all these colors. Oh my gosh. Look at all these colors. This is insane. So I'm just going to show you how I do my kit up process. Put this right here so I can throw the stuff in there as I go. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of colors. Okay, how I like to start my kit up process is I like to put all of the, I might change that angle a little bit. Now, where did I put my storage kit? Why am I losing everything? Oh, it's right here. Okay. This is how I like to start my kit up process. I like to put my stickers on all of the bottles first, and then at the end, I'll show you how I rearrange my drills on each of my kits, because it does get a little bit challenging to come back from kit to kit and remember the layout of the drills so that I can move a little bit faster when I'm diamond painting. So I do have a method for that, but for now, I'm just gonna go through and put all of these stickers on the bottles, and I'll show you why I choose to do it this way as we go. So I'm just gonna quickly go through here and do this portion, and then we'll I'll stop what I'm talking about and show you the next step. Oh my gosh, I hope you all had a really Merry Christmas. I was really sick. I was sick all of the day before Christmas Eve, and I was sick all day on Christmas Eve. Now, it wasn't like stomach flu sick. It was like achy sick. And I did get congested for just a day, and then the congestion went away. But really, the only symptom I had was being achy. And I wondered how much of it was stress related, because I have told you in videos in the past and in WIP and chats how stressful life has been lately. But we are over that hump, and I'm going to explain why. So anyway, all day Christmas Eve, I was in bed, and the day before. And it was just crazy because I couldn't even get out of bed to do anything. All I wanted to do was drink. I didn't really even want to eat. And I just felt crappy. So I didn't really have, I'm a big time procrastinator with Christmas. I'll just admit it right now, big time procrastinator. Every year I think I'm going to do better next Christmas, and I never do. So what I do is I always save like the stocking stuffer part for the very end. And I usually end up going stocking stuffing shopping on Christmas Eve or the day before. Well, obviously I couldn't go do any of that. So my mom called me. I missed 2 days of work, which I had to make up for. But anyway, that's a no-brainer because I don't get PTO or anything from this job. So I missed those 2 days of work and just stayed home. And on Christmas Eve, I was talking to my mom, and I said, I do not have any of my stocking stuffers or anything. And my mom said, I will take care of all of it. Don't even worry about it. So I was very happy about that. And then on Christmas Eve, Kennedy came over here for just a few minutes. I was a little worried being around her because she's pregnant. But she was like, Mom, I think I gave it to you, because she had been really sick a couple weeks before that. And anyway, she came over here to check on me and see how I was doing, and that was on Christmas Eve at like noon. And she said, are you going to come stay the night on Christmas Eve? You know, are you going to come stay tonight at Nana and Grandpa's? And I said, honey, I'm sick. When I'm sick, I just want to be in my own bed and be comfortable. And she said, Mom, I really do not want you to be alone for Christmas Eve, because Allie and Sydney went with their dad for Christmas Eve. And she said, I really don't want you to be alone. And I said, I really don't. It's not going to bother me at all to be alone, because I'm just going to sleep. And she said, please come over to Nana and Grandpa's and stay the night, because Kennedy lives at my mom and dad's house, which is also where I work every day as a caregiver. I take care of my aunt. I have a lot of new viewers, so I want to explain that briefly. But anyway, she was insistent that I come over there, and I said, there's not a place for me to sleep. I'm sick. I just want to be comfortable. And she said, I got you. I'll make a really nice place for you. And she did. I'm going to show a clip at the end to show the cute little oasis she made me at my mom and dad's house. So because I wasn't able to eat dinner with my mom and dad on Christmas Eve like we had planned, my sister and her family came into town and had Christmas Eve dinner with my mom and dad, which was great. I'm glad they were able to do that. And then I was able to go over after everybody left. And like I said, Kennedy had made me a cute little place to sleep. I took Fallon with me, and I spent all day Christmas Day at my mom and dad's house. I did work a little bit for my mom while I was there, which was fine. I was feeling a little better that day, and so I was able to help out a little bit, which she needed because she had worked the 2 days prior to that. So it was nice for her to have a little bit of a break from taking care of my aunt. So we were there all day Christmas. Allie and Sydney came back up about, I don't know, I want to say like 6 o'clock Christmas evening, and they came to my mom and dad's house, and we did our present exchange with them, which was fun. And then we, Allie and Sydney gave me a ride home, and I came here and spent the night on Christmas night here, which was great. So all in all, it turned out to be a really great day. We, you know, I just didn't have my last minute stuff done. I swear, my mom was like, I think you were sick last Christmas. And I said, no, I wasn't, but I think she's right. I think I was. I think it's the stress of the holidays. This year it was more than that, but I think it's the stress of the holidays that makes me get a little bit under the weather. I don't know. But anyway, Christmas was fun. We had a really great day. My mom and dad always have a really nice breakfast on Christmas morning with a French toast casserole and wassail, and so that was fabulous. And then we just kind of all hung out and just enjoyed Christmas. Kennedy and Joel were there, and we did a semi-gift exchange with them, and then those two went and took a nap, and I diamond painted for quite a while on Christmas Day because my mom and dad and Sid were watching some Christmas programs in my mom and dad's room. So I was able to do some diamond painting, which was nice because I hadn't diamond painted much the day before leading up to Christmas. I think I diamond painted a little bit on Christmas Eve when I got to my mom and dad's house. So yeah, I think that's the night I finished A Savior is Born, actually, because I was really cutting it close on that one. My goal was to have it done by Christmas, but being sick set me back a little bit on that goal, but I was able to do it. I got it done on Christmas Eve, so that was good. And then I was going to do a whip and chat the day after Christmas, but that was the day that my premiere went up, my Christmas premiere with all the creators. So I didn't do my whip and chat on my normal day, and then the next day just got crazy busy. And like I said, I worked all weekend to make up for those 2 days that I missed. So I really didn't have a lot of time to sit down and do a whip and chat because by the time I got home, I was exhausted. I actually didn't put up a lot of videos that entire week because of being sick and then playing catch up. You know, when you're a mom and you get sick, everybody's like, oh, get some rest. It's rest and everything, but when you get back, it's like being back to a job after you've been on vacation. Stuff piles up, you know, and then you're playing catch up, like housework and things like that. So yeah, it was kind of a crazy time. All right. there are all of my stickers on my bottles. And now I'm going to change your angle so that you can see a little bit better as I'm kitting it up, because we're going to start putting the drills into the bottles portion of the video. All right, so what you're seeing here is all of my bottles with the stickers on and all of my heat sealed bags with all the drills in them. And then I have all my supplies, and we're going to get into those in just a minute. But for now, let me just explain why I do the stickers first. So Diamond Art Club's sticker sheet comes with all of the DMC numbers in order. The storage bags, these heat sealed bags, are not in order of DMC. They're in order of weight. So when I am working this way, what I like to do is just grab a package of the drills. Let me find the end of this strand. I grab one of the colors here, cut it off, and this is DMC number 355. So I'm going to look for the bottle that says 355. Now, if I have these rearranged the way I like to rearrange them after I'm done, which I'll show at the end, the DMC numbers are no longer in order. So if I do this first before I rearrange the bottles, it's easier for me to find the DMC numbers. So this one is 355, so I know that that's going to be over here, and it's right here. So that is my bottle for DMC number 355. And then I know that that's where these go. So it's just a little bit easier for me to keep these DMC numbers and these stickers in order and then rearrange them after I'm all done with getting the drills in the bags. I am not a big fan of kitting up. I used to be. I used to love kitting up. I'm going to bring you down quite a bit so that you can see what I'm doing. But now, now you can't see the bottles, but there's really not much to see because I already showed you that. But I used to love kitting up, but because I'm so behind on my WIPs and everything, the kitting up process has lost its joy to me. Let me move you this way just a little bit. So, you know, I got to get back in the swing of it, and that's fine. It's just, I need to take a little break from kitting up and kitting down. I'm going to explain the problem I may run into with kitting down, but I'll get to that in just a minute. Let me show you all the supplies I use for kitting up. Some of this I may not use, but some of it I might, so I like to have it on hand just in case. I like to have a tray handy because it's a little easier to put the drills into the containers. This is going to work well because, as you can see, where my tweezers go? As you can see, this funnel of this tray will fit inside. Take the stopper out. Will fit inside there. So I might not even need this funnel. Actually, I know I won't use that funnel. So I'm going to put the funnel off to the side. I have my tweezers that I'm going to be needing. And I also have this little container which holds my random weird cut dryer sheets. These are just random leftovers that I haven't yet cut up into small pieces for the containers. So I've got that because I'll show you what I'm going to use that for in just a minute. And then I have the pre-cut little pieces of dryer sheets that I can just pop into the bottles as I go. Because more than likely, with this being a new set of bottles, I'm going to have a lot of static. You usually have a lot of static working with the heat sealed bags anyway. So I'm already knowing ahead of time that we're going to have static issues. I have a few workarounds for static, but this is the one I like to do the best. So when I can see that there's a lot of static in these bags, which you can see with that bag that there's a lot of static because those drills are clinging to that plastic. So what I'm going to do is grab one of my little weird cut dryer sheets and put that in my tray. And then I'm just going to pour these drills onto that dryer sheet. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. We might have to breathe into the bags. I'm hoping not to because I've ingested so many drills doing it that way. And then I just rub the drills with the dryer sheet, and that seems to help eliminate the static. Now, they're going to get more static in these bottles because you're putting plastic drills or resin drills into plastic bottles. Everything is plastic, right? So we already know we're going to need to put a dryer sheet in there so that they don't get static when I go to use them. And then there we go, finished product. So that is one color down, 75 more to go. This is a big kit up. Okay, let's see. Where did I leave off in telling you about everything? Oh, Christmas. So here's 927. So Christmas was a little bit crazy just because I wasn't prepared for it and I was sick and I didn't get a lot done. And then we don't have snow here, which is so weird in Utah. So it hasn't felt really like Christmas. Now, I am not a big lover of snow, so that's okay with me. But I like to at least have snow on Christmas. You know, it can go away the very next day. But I am getting worried about what our summer is going to be like, because if we don't get the moisture in the winter, we'll be in a drought, an even worse drought than we normally are. So I'm hoping, we have been getting rain the last few days, so I'm hoping the rain continues so that we're not in a huge drought come summertime, because the last few summers have been really beautiful and green, and I would really like to continue having the green in the summer because, you know, it's so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna get in a rhythm here in just a minute, but it's always rough at first until I get going. Okay, this one is 3727. Anyway, I'm not gonna keep reading off the colors, but just so you get the idea of what I'm trying to do. So here's my 3727 bottle. And I think these will probably loosen up as I use them. Hopefully, I'm hoping. Put a little dryer sheet in there right now. I will get into a rhythm where it'll just run smoother, but for some reason it takes me a bit to find my rhythm. So that was our Christmas, and then let's see, the day after, so I worked all that weekend, and then I had to start working again on Monday, so I really didn't get too much of a break. I didn't work a big day on Sunday. My mom let me have some time off, which was nice because I needed to come home and do laundry and other housekeeping that had fallen to the wayside while I was sick. So I was happy for that. Let's see. And then in between Christmas and New Year's. So I'm trying to think. I finished a few kits in between that time and just kind of tried to take it easy. All right, let me fill you in on, oh my gosh, I did not even keep track of what that color was. See, this is where I run into a problem. I've got to be more mindful of that because right now it's not too big of a deal, but in a minute that will become a problem. 927 was that number. Nope, it wasn't. It was 355. No, that was the first color I did, was it not? Yeah, 355 was the first color. Oh, here we go. This color is, if I can get the bag, 3831. Okay, that makes sense because that is a red symbol. All right, I've got to make sure I'm looking at those before I throw the baggie away. So in between Christmas and New Year's was just kind of work and catching up on housekeeping and laundry and all of that. I did pull apart my entire diamond painting space in my bedroom on, was that Sunday or Monday? I don't remember what day it was, but it was Sunday. I actually ended up pulling everything apart. I was just going to organize my drawers here under my desk. And then I got carried away and decided I was going to organize everything because I did get some organization stuff for Christmas. So I wanted to make sure that I had everything organized for that. And then I ended up pulling apart a lot of my room and organizing a ton of stuff. So I organized all my guinea pig stuff. I organized my crafting area. I got new bedding for Christmas. My mom bought me a new bedspread and sheets and everything, and a new minky blanket, which was amazing. I've been talking to a lot of people lately in the diamond painting community that are not familiar with minky blankets. Oh my gosh. If you're a blanket person, minky blankets are like the top of the line best blankets. They are so super soft and fuzzy, and I love them. So my mom got us all new minkies. Every couple years, she'll get us new minkies. And you don't have to. I mean, these minkies last forever. But after you wash them a few times, they do start to get a little bit worn out because they don't, it's not that they don't wash well, but you just have to wash them really carefully or they lose their fluff. That's what's happened to our minkies since, I think it's been like 3 years, maybe even 4 since she bought us minkies. And the minky store was having a huge sale before Christmas. So she was like, Jen, do you and the girls want new Minkies for Christmas? And I said, Mom, don't worry about it. And she's like, no, they're marked down. So she ended up getting all of us a new Minky blanket for our beds, which was so nice. I love to pile on the blankets because we keep our house really cool at night. So I like to have a lot of blankets on me, and the Minkies are like having 2 blankets in one. I just love them. I cannot say enough about them. So my new bedspread and Minky were really fun. I got to put that on my bed, and that's when I was looking around thinking, you know, my room really needs to be reorganized and revamped. And so that's what started my mind going, okay, time for reorganization. Plus, like I said, I got some organization stuff for Christmas, and I wanted to reorganize everything. This storage unit is going to be a little bit of a challenge to get used to, but we'll get used to it. So I remade my bed, and I'm a person that has to wash my sheets when they're new. I can't just take them out of the package and sleep on them. I have to wash them. So I did laundry and got all my sheets washed, and she even got me a spare set of sheets, which is really nice. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but it's nice to have them nonetheless. Okay, I already did 335. You know what? I think this one was 355. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, you guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. Not being able to read. I have my glasses on. I don't really know what's going on. So, oh, I can just, no, I can't. Okay, I was thinking I could just take the tops off and swap them, but I actually can't do that because the tops are attached. So anyway, that was really nice. My kids had a pretty mellow Christmas this year. I just, you know, with my car situation and everything, it's been a little bit of a challenge, and I'm trying to take it easy on my spending. I really haven't been purchasing a lot of diamond paintings. I've purchased some here and there, especially for the Christmas and New Year sales and stuff, but I've been trying to take it easy a little bit. But I just, you know, I had to have a mellow Christmas, and my girls are not used to big Christmases. We just keep it mellow. But Sydney got a sewing machine, which was really nice. She was excited about that. And then she got, you know, like I said, her Minky blanket from my mom. And she got a bunch of stuff up at her dad's house. She got some other things for me too. I just can't remember right at the moment what it was that she got. And then jewelry and perfume and skincare, I want to say. So that was nice. Kennedy got a bunch of stuff for the baby, and we had to get her something, right? Because she can't just get stuff for the baby. The mom needs stuff too. So we got her, she wanted some skincare products that were a little bit pricey. So I said, send me a list of what you want, and I'll just get you those. And so I got her a bunch of skincare products, and she said, you don't need to get me anything else. That's all I need. Allie got a Coach purse, which is what she wanted so badly. She's like all bougie. So she wanted a Coach purse, and I tried to talk her out of getting a really expensive purse, but yeah, try talking a bougie 19-year-old. Try talking her out of getting a bougie purse, but it's really cute. So all in all, everybody had a really good Christmas. Joel got this really funny flashlight from my mom. I mean, it is ginormous, and we all kind of had to laugh because yes, it's a really great gift and he's going to love it, but it was just kind of a funny random present. But he loved it. We all laughed, and he was like, I don't know why it's funny. I'm excited. And so anyway, and then, oh, Allie gave Joel Nikes for the baby, which was really cute. They're little teeny tiny Nikes. Oh my gosh. They were so cute. That little baby's going to be so fancied up, but you know, we gotta have fun with a boy. We've never had a boy before, so this will be fun for me and my girls to experience a boy. Anyway, let's see what else. All right, so let me update you on the big news, the moving situation. For those of you who are just joining us, let me just explain really quick. So when Kennedy found out she was pregnant, Kennedy and Joel knew that my lease was coming up here at the apartment, and they wanted, you know, they had heard me telling about how small this apartment is and everything. I mean, I'm grateful to be in this apartment after the last place we lived. Holy cow. We moved in here a little over a year ago, and we've, for the most part, enjoyed it. It's just really small. I mean, we went from a 4-bedroom home to a 3-bedroom apartment. And at the 4-bedroom home, we had like 2 big living spaces. The kitchen was, you know, not super big, but bigger than what we have now. And we had to downsize a lot because we had a garage, we had a fenced-in yard, so we no longer have those things at the apartment. And that was fine because this place is much cleaner than the house we lived in. The house we lived in was a mess. And I'm not even going to get into that. But we are very grateful to be here at the apartment. It's just small, and we're feeling crammed. Well, when I was just planning on staying here another year. But when Kennedy and Joel found out they were pregnant, Joel's first thing was, why don't we just all move in together and get a house and we can all pay for the rent? And I'm like, okay, I'm down for that. I want to be there as, you know, as my firstborn has her firstborn, and how fun would that be to see all the firsts with them and experience all of that. So I was all gung-ho about it. Well, one of the problems that we were running into is that Joel has a German Shepherd, Kennedy has 6 guinea pigs, I have 3 cats, a dog, and my 6 guinea pigs. So what we're looking at doing is combining, and we would have 2 dogs, 3 cats, and 10 guinea pigs. Crazy, right? And I was getting really stressed about how we were all going to do that. And I was also getting stressed about combining, like, is it going to be okay for Kennedy and Joel's relationship to have all of the sisters back under one roof, because they don't always get along. I mean, for those of you who have girls, you'll understand what I mean. And we just weren't really sure how everything was going to pan out. Plus, not to mention the fact that we couldn't find a place to live, which was a whole other ordeal, because we had to go through all these rental agencies, and every rental agency charges an application fee that's non-refundable, and we had already lost on one application fee. Well, we went and saw this house that was just beautiful. We lost the first house that we wanted. That was a huge loss. It was really depressing because we loved that house. The second house we went and looked at that we really loved was really great, and we were very excited. It was a couple days before Christmas, and we thought it would be the perfect match for our needs. Well, as soon as we mentioned that we had a German Shepherd, or that Joel has a German Shepherd, the lady kind of lost eye contact with us. And even though Joel has an ESA note for Diesel, his German Shepherd, you know, people still have the choice of whether or not they want to rent to you. So she said, well, I'll send you the link to the application as soon as you guys leave here, and you can get the application process started. We never received the link, and I think it's because of the pet situation. That's what I think. So, you know, I started thinking, is this going to be a problem we're going to run into everywhere? Because, you know, not only do not every place allow pets, but the places that do allow pets can be picky about what pets they allow, right? I totally understand that. So I was just starting to get really stressed, and I was thinking we're never going to find a place, and my lease, you know, I'm on a month-to-month right now, but I had to give my 60 days notice to be out of here, and it would have put me out of here on January 24th. So I was getting really super stressed about that. Well, then I got sick, and the house hunting went on hold, and while I was sick, I just kept getting more and more stressed out about this situation. Well, what I've decided, and I talked to Kennedy and Joel about it today, and everybody feels really good about it. It just feels like everywhere we go, everywhere we turn, everything's working against us to try to do this. And I finally succumbed to that and said, you know what, maybe this is just not meant to work out. And I said, maybe what I need to do is just sign another year lease. I called the apartment building, and they said that they would let us go back on our 60 days notice and sign a new year lease. And then we would go back to our normal amount of rent. And then we wouldn't have to move. And I was sad, though, because I wanted to live with Kennedy and Joel. I thought that would be super fun to be a part of, you know, the baby and everything. Plus, I wanted to help out Kennedy because we all know having a baby for the first time can be a lot. And I don't really know for sure that they know what they're getting into. I mean, who does, right? As first-time parents, who really knows? I didn't. And I was 28 when I had Kennedy, 27 when I found out I was pregnant. So, you know, I wanted to help them out the best that I could and be a part of the baby's life. I also liked the idea of going to a house and having more space, having a fenced-in yard. And you know, I was going to be able to have a diamond painting room. So I was really excited about that. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And I had to start looking at the signs of it. And I'm a religious person, so not to dwell on that very much, but I prayed about it, and I just kept feeling really uneasy about all of the stress that was associated with trying to combine households. So I was really sad. I knew that Kennedy and Joel were going to be stressed out and sad because now they've got to find a place to live and all of that. And so I just approached it like this. I mean, I was just honest with them. I just said, you know, every time we try to make this move happen, something happens that makes it not work out. And I said, my decision is, I think I'm just going to go ahead and sign another year lease at the apartment. And they were both totally great about it. You know, they both said, you got to do what's best for you and your kids. And I appreciated that they were good about it. And then I said, but I have a thought. Why don't you guys try to find an apartment in my complex that's a 2-bedroom, and you could be close enough to me because I don't have a car right now. So you'd be close enough to me that I could walk over to help you. And if we got you close enough, you'd be right there, and I could bring meals over to you. I could do anything I could to help you because I'll be right there. And they were both like, Mom, that's such a great idea. So then I felt a lot better about everything. And I called the apartment complex today, and they do have 2 bedrooms available. They're going to get me a list of the different units that are available that are in close proximity to mine. And then we're going to go look at them and make sure that they're within these guys' price range. So that's a relief. I am so grateful for that. And I think that will be nice because then Kennedy and Joel, and this is what I told them, you know, this is a time that they need to really focus on their relationship and building a strong bond with themselves and the baby, and combining the household with the girls would just be really hard because it could end up causing unnecessary stress to Kennedy, especially because she'd be playing the mediator between Joel and her family members. And who wants to be under that kind of stress when you bring a new baby in, right? You don't want to have to deal with all of that. So they thought that was really great. And Joel said, I think that would be a really good idea. Let's do that. So he is all for finding an apartment close by. They were looking at apartments anyway, and it just didn't dawn on them to look at some here in this complex because I had mentioned to them last week that I was thinking about signing a year lease. So I feel a lot better about that. It's taken a huge weight off my shoulders, actually. I was really, really stressed out about that. And you know, sometimes when the universe is trying to tell you that it's not meant to be, you'll feel it. You know, everything around you you'll feel it. And I was feeling it big time. I mean, I think that's why I kind of got sick around the holidays. That and Christmas time stresses me out anyway. But that added stress didn't help. And I really want Kennedy and Joel to focus on the blessing of this new baby because it's so amazing that they have this opportunity to have this baby and enjoy their time together. And I just feel like this will work out for the best. And I also love the idea of them being close by so that I can help them. So they all feel really good about that. Let's see, what else has changed since? That's my big news about the move. So basically, I'm not moving. There's not going to be a move right now. I have already signed my year lease and I'm locked in for another year, which I feel okay about. I'm okay with the living situation currently. It's not perfect, but I don't mind. We actually have really good neighbors and stuff. I'm not too worried about my surroundings, and you know, I feel like it's a good place to stay for the time being, for sure. That little drill popped out of there. But so we got that worked out. Now let's see what else has been going on. Oh, okay, so let me mention this real quick. Another little announcement is Kennedy and Joel got a new dog. And I'll put videos at the end of the new puppy. He's super cute. They named him Winnie, not for Winnie the Pooh. They named him Winnie as in Winston, and they call him Winnie. He is a half pit bull, half German Shepherd, half pit bull, half lab. I think he's like a quarter pit bull. He doesn't have a ton of pit bull in him. Kennedy has been wanting a pit bull for a really long time, and they basically went out Christmas shopping. This was right before Christmas, so the day before, I believe it was Christmas Eve. And this couple just handed them a dog and said, would you like a free dog? And at that point, we hadn't made the decision about the apartment. So Kennedy and Joel were like, I don't know. And they called me and I said, no, now is not a good time for a new dog. We've already got a lot of animals. Well, they talked about it and decided that that's what they wanted to do. So they got the new dog, and he's super, super cute. A really adorable little dog. And I've been able to take care of him when I go over there to work because he's been at my mom and dad's house a lot. So it's fun to spend time with him and watch them raise this dog. But he's in, teething mode. He's 9 weeks old. Or is he 10 now? I think he's 9 weeks old. But he's just as cute as can be. And he just has attached himself to Kennedy. I mean, he just absolutely loves Kennedy. It makes me wonder if he knows she's pregnant, like if he can sense it. So anyway, that's a big thing that's happened. I don't know why I just did that because I can't get those in that bottle. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them in a Ziploc baggie right here. Anytime I have drills that won't fit into the bottle, especially if I've already cut the heat sealed bag, I'll just put them in the Ziploc bag so that they're there when I need to refill my bag. Now this one has a ton of this color. So I'm going to put those in the Ziploc bag, and then instead of labeling it, which is what I used to do, I decided instead of labeling it, I'm just going to stick this in here with it so I can see the DMC number on this package. And then I don't have to waste a label, and then I can use the Ziploc bag in the future for anything I want. This has, what was it, 23 bags of 5200 because 5200 is a lot of the background. So I'm just going to remove all of the 5200. There is a ton of it because now I've already got my 5200 filled up in this container, and I can put all the rest of it off to the side with its little Ziploc pouch right here, so that I'll have the refills when I need them. Okay. So yeah, I'm excited for them. I think this is going to be really fun. It's interesting to see how they're going to handle a dog when they have a baby on the way, but it's something they decided was a good time. So that is their decision to make as adults. But he is really, really cute. He and Fallon have not become friends yet. Fallon is really unsure of him. Fallon has tried to establish dominance with him, and he's a puppy, So we've just kind of kept them in separate quarters when the dog and Fallon are at my mom and dad's house. They're just not ready to be introduced to each other. But the puppy and Joel's dog Diesel are getting along really well. They do really well together, so that's good. They've had them together playing several times, and they get along really good. Diesel's really good with them, so that's good. But he's going in next week for his first puppy visit with the vet and his first round of shots. And then he will be getting fixed probably as soon as he's old enough, because they've got to have that done to tame him down a little bit. I can't remember how old dogs have to be to get fixed, but I'm sure the vet will tell them when they go take him in. I took Fallon to the vet on New Year's Eve. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve. And he is doing pretty good, actually. The vet was really pleased with how he's doing. I needed a refill of his pills. That is 3771. Okay, so this is 3770. It looked the same for a minute, but I can see now that they're different. I did it again. That is 3770. Those are all the same color. Okay. Oh my gosh, get it together, Jenna. So anyway, the vet was really pleased with how Fallon is doing. He said that he feels like Fallon is doing well enough that, yes, I still need to give him the congestive heart failure medicine and the water pills. He said he must stay on that indefinitely the rest of his life. But he said, I don't know why the ER vet wouldn't call in more prescriptions for you until you brought him in here, because Fallon had been off of those for 3 days by the time I took him in. And he said there's no harm in calling refills for those. And I said, well, the vet was worried that he was going to have problems with his kidneys or his liver. And he said, well, here's what we're going to do. Let's keep him on those meds for right now. I'll get you 2 months worth of refills. And he said, in 2 months, I want you to call me and let me know how he's doing. And then we will go from there. But he said, in 3 months, I want to do a blood panel and make sure that his kidneys and liver are okay. But he said, it doesn't matter anyway, because he's going to have to stay on it. We'll just have to work on the dosage if we see that there is a problem. But he said, let me tell you something about your little dog here. A lot of dogs that I see with congestive heart failure are very lethargic. And he said, Fallon is the opposite of lethargic. He's very alert, very active. And he said, I just don't feel like you need to do an echo right now, because remember the ER vet said I needed to do an echo. But he said, you know, let's just hold off on that for right now. If I see him in 3 months and the blood work shows any changes and I'm concerned, then we'll do the echo. But he's like, it's really not that necessary to do the echo right now. It's not going to do anything for him to be like, it's not going to affect the treatment. All it's going to do is tell us more about his, you know, how bad it is. But he said, right now, I just don't see it being that bad. But he's like, I'm not saying that it's not bad. And he said, let me make that very clear. I don't want you to think that it's not serious, because it is. But he said, I just don't think that he's in a situation right now where we have to go that route, because I was concerned about the price of the echo. And of course, if the doctor said, yes, we need to do an echo, I would definitely figure out a way to do it. But I was just trying to, with it being Christmas time, avoid that if I could. And the vet reassured me, so I want to make that very clear, because there was a comment made about that the last time I brought it up. The vet said not to worry about that right now, and we'll reevaluate in a few months. But for now, he's doing really well. So I've got him back on all of his medication now, and the vet said, you know, I will call you in these prescriptions indefinitely the rest of this little dog's life. You don't even need to worry about it. Even if I don't see him again, I will call in your refills. But he said, let's check back in a couple months and see how he's doing. And then 3 months do the blood work. So I said, great. So that's where we're at with him. And he does do really well when he's on his medication. He's fine. And Fallon really doesn't ever act, you know, at the very beginning, he was acting a little bit tired and run down. It was his cough, though, that was really concerning me at the very beginning. And that's why I took him in. So his cough was getting bad again, being off of the water pill for those 3 days. So the doctor said, just make sure you keep him on that water pill. But he said he's going to have that cough for the rest of his life, because his heart is enlarged and pressing against his trachea. So the cough will be something that Fallon will always have now. But it is less if he's on his water pill. So anyway, he did have a swollen eye, which is another reason I needed to get him into the vet. And I thought it was an infection, or maybe one of the cats scratched him, but it wasn't. The vet said it's not an infection. I think it's swelling from his lungs being so full of fluid. So the swelling has gone down, actually. He was going to call me in a antibiotic treatment if I needed one, but he wanted to watch him for a couple days, because he said, I'm hesitant to throw any more medication into the mix when we're dealing with congestive heart failure. So the next day, after he had been on that water pill for 24 hours, swelling had gone down. So little guy's doing really good. I'm so happy for that. That's been a huge weight off of my mind too. And, you know, the vet said, I can't predict how long his lifespan will be. But he's like, right now, let's just keep him going, doing what we're doing, and we'll see how he does. So that's good. Let's see, what else has been going on? 4:53, okay. Just lots of work and diamond painting. I mentioned that I'm going to be doing my urine review video. I wanted to have it done right on the 2nd, but, you know, life just happened and I wasn't able to get it all filmed and get over there to my mom and dad's house to get it done. It is going to take a little bit of work to get all of the canvases together, but it'll be okay. I love doing the year in reviews. I love watching people's year in reviews. I just get such a kick out of that for some reason. I just think that watching everybody's year in reviews is really amazing. Also, I am going to be doing something a little different with my year in review. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be fun. I don't think I've ever seen a year in review like the one I'm going to do. So that's going to be fun. Okay. Yeah, there we go with that. Let's see what else. My mom and dad's bathroom is done, and it is bougie. It's like a bathroom that you would see on a TV, like a how to do your bathroom. It's really cool. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I don't have a video of the finished bathroom right now, but I'll make a video for next week's WIP and Chat so that you can see that, because it did turn out really well. And I have shown before on previous WIP and Chats what their bathroom looked like before the work started getting done. And then I think I have one, I actually do have one to share with you in this WIP and Chat when they had all the tile in the bathroom. So it's an updated video, but since that time, they actually got the bathroom all done on Christmas Eve. So it's really cool. I showered my aunt in it for the first time today, and that was really awesome. It's a really cool setup. We're still tweaking it a little bit, trying to get it organized the way we need to for my aunt, but for the most part, it's really cool. Once we get it organized, it's going to be smooth. Much better than showering her in my mom and dad's bathroom, that's for sure. So that's good. And trying to think what else there is to update you on as far as that goes. Let's see. Kennedy's next ultrasound appointment will be on the 6th, which is Tuesday. And I'm pretty sure Joel is planning to go with her to that one, so I won't be able to accompany her on that if he goes, which is good. I mean, you know, it's good that Joel can go. He's the dad. I just really like going and seeing that little baby on the ultrasound monitor. But, yeah. Tuesday is the day for that, which will be good because, you know, when it comes time for your visit, you're always a little bit anxious to make sure everything's okay, especially with your first baby. So that'll be good. So next week in my WIP and Chat, I'll have an update on the baby and how that's going, and maybe even a new ultrasound picture. I'm so excited. She goes to a doctor's office that always does ultrasounds. I don't know if every office is like that now, but hers does an ultrasound every time, so you get a new picture each month, which is cool. Ken hasn't found a job yet. It's hard to find a job during the holidays. You know, she is a little overwhelmed about that, but things will work out. I just feel like as long as you're trying and doing everything you can, things will always work out. She is looking, but it's hard. You know, like I said, this is not the best time of year to be looking for a job. Can you find one? Well, yeah. Is it harder? Yeah. I've heard a couple people say she could find a job if she wanted to. Well, she has been looking and she wants to find a job, but it is a little hard given that she doesn't have a degree or anything. The type of job that she's applying for isn't something that they just hire you on the spot, you know, because she'd be looking for like reception or office management, things like that. 3861. So she's working on that. There it is. Let's see. For me, I have just been diamond painting a lot, and oh my gosh, we watched Stranger Things on Christmas Eve. That's another reason I wanted to go spend the night with Kennedy so we could watch Stranger Things. And that was so cool. So we watched some of that. Was that Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? I can't remember now. But we watched that, and then I think it was Christmas Day. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was Christmas Day. And then on New Year's Eve, we watched the series finale. And I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but that was sad to see that come to an end for sure. I like that show. But I hear that there's going to be some spinoffs, which would be really cool. I really hope that the writers do some spinoffs. I think that would be fun. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And then what have I been watching and listening to? Oh my gosh, I just love the Brian Freeman books. I don't have any more of the Jonathan Stride series because I finished that right before Christmas, I think around Thanksgiving. So I don't have any more of the Jonathan Stride books to listen to, but Brian Freeman has more books. And oh my gosh, I just love his writing style. Plus I love the narrator. I can't think of his name. If I remember, I'll put it in the screen, but I really like the guy who narrates his books. And he's been the narrator of all the Brian Freeman books that I have listened to, which I've really enjoyed. I think my girls are home, so give me just a minute and I'll be right back. Okay, well, I thought they were back, but I don't hear them, so I think Fallon just heard a neighbor come home or something. They went to a movie, so I'd be surprised if they were back this quick. They went to see Anaconda. That is them. I'll be right back. Okay. So they went and saw Anaconda with their dad. I haven't asked them yet how they felt about it, but it is the new one with, what's the guy's name that played Ant-Man? And Jack Black is in it. Anyway, I'm curious to hear what they thought of that. Let's see. WIP Detox. So this is going to be really fun. I'm kind of excited to be in a WIP Detox. It's going to be really nice because I can finally get around to these kits that I haven't been able to get around to. So I'm happy to finally be able to start working on the WIPs that have been accumulating over months and get to some of those. Anyway, so the WIP Detox is going on. You should check out the Facebook page if you're interested. You do not have to be participating to be a part of the Facebook page, but if you have even just one WIP, come over and join us and see what's going on. You don't have to do your WIP Detox like me. I'm doing the no kit ups until my 26 WIPs are complete. You don't have to do that. You can just join, and even if you have one WIP, even if you don't have a WIP, you can just see what everybody's doing and working on. But it is going to be a year-long event, and then we're going to have prizes next year. Or not next year, this year. We're in 2026 right now, but we're going to have prizes at the end of the year for people who complete their WIPs. So that'll be fun. Let's see. I haven't really watched anything except Stranger Things. I started a show. Oh, I did. I don't think I've told you about this. I watched The Beast in Me. You'll have to let me know if you watched that because that was kind of interesting. I didn't, I just like to hear what you guys thought about it. I'm also always looking for recommendations on books, but I'm listening to the Brian Freeman books. I love those. Right now I'm listening to the Cab Bolton series. There are only 2 books in that series. He, I believe, is a carryover character from the Jonathan Stride novels. So that's kind of fun because he was a character that made an appearance in one of those books. And a couple of the characters have been the same from the Jonathan Stride books too. Anyway, let's see. Let me give you an update on everybody. Everybody's just been doing really good. Allie's been out of her classes right now because of winter break for the holidays. Sydney is probably going to be starting online, but for now she's still going to the same school. I already gave you an update on Kennedy, and I gave you an update on Fallon. The cats and the guinea pigs are doing really good. Other than that, that's about it when it comes to all of that. Let's see. I feel like there is more to tell you. I'm hoping that my event will be announced. So I'm co-hosting an event with Sparkling Nana, who is Rebecca. and that will be in April, and we're getting ready to make the announcement about that, hopefully next week. Also, I think I already said this, but my year-end review will probably be up on Monday. I'm going to work on it this weekend, and I'm hoping to have that uploaded on Monday. Then the announcement video will be going out about the event. So I'm really excited to announce that event to you. I have almost slipped up and talked about it several times because I'm so excited. But yeah. And then what else? I can't think of anything else. I feel like that's it. I'm just really excited to be in a new year. I'm doing a lot of new things on the channel, which I have not been able to put out like my 2026 goals or anything yet, because my 2026 goal, the biggest one, is the WIP Detox. That's going to be like all consuming for several months. I would probably say anywhere from 4 to 6 months, hopefully not longer than that, because I will be itching to kit up some kits by then. But it's funny because I don't really know for sure yet how I'm going to determine from month to month what I'll be working on. I haven't decided. I haven't decided if I'll do a wheel. I don't think I'm going to do the wheel route. I think what I'm going to do is just decide based on my mood and take it from there. Oh, I already filled that one up, so we don't need a second bag of that yet. I don't know how I'm going to determine from month to month. There have been some really great suggestions on the WIP Detox 2026 Facebook page. That's another reason I've really been excited to start this, so that we can all kind of share our thoughts and ideas about going about getting our WIPs done. 3064, where are you? Okay. So anyway, we are kind of sharing ideas on how to tackle multiple WIPs and everything. I'm doing some new types of videos this year, which I'm not ready to announce, but I will be doing a video that will talk about my plans for 2026. I just haven't had a chance to put that together yet, and I'm still waiting on some things. So that will probably be up, I'm hoping, next week also. Next week will probably be a really big week for content, because I'll have my year in review, my announcement video for the event, and I have, oh my gosh, I'm losing bottles here. And then I have some other things that I'm not ready to talk about yet, because they might not pan out. So I don't want to say them and not have them work out. But yes, I will be doing some goals and challenges for myself for 2026, along with the WIP Detox. And I'll talk about those in an upcoming video. But it's going to be really fun. I feel like I'm going to be doing some really fun and unique things on the channel. So watch for that, because that's going to be a lot of interacting. My thing for 2026 is I really want to do a lot of interacting, because one thing that kind of makes me feel bad, and I felt it as being a new creator, is there are a lot of, I don't want to say this in a negative way at all, because I don't mean it to be, but there's been a lot of kind of grouping and cliques and everything like that. And like I said, I don't want it to sound negative, but as a new creator, me, myself, I was having a hard time getting to know people and kind of finding my way in the community and what I could bring to the community. And I think small creators, when they're just getting started, have a hard time feeling like they have a place. And to those of you who might have a channel and you're just starting out, I want to say, yes, you do have a place. And anyone watching, you have a place. You have a place here that you can share a hobby with everyone. And not everyone is welcoming to new people, which I think is really sad. But I want you all to know that I understand that. And I'm trying to, from my end, make your experience better, because I have been affected by the clicking off too. It makes it really hard to, for some reason, feel welcome. And it's not anyone's fault. It might be my own fault, because sometimes when you're shy, like I was growing up, it's hard to find your group of people. And I've heard it said before that your people will find you. And that is true. But I also want everyone to feel that they have a safe place in my WIP Detox where you can come and get to know people and share your hobby with them. And it doesn't have to be like, even if you're just along for the ride and you don't have WIPs that you want to complete in 2026, you're just kitting up one project at a time, come join us anyway, because even if you're not participating in the actual WIP Detox and you're not in it for the prizes, you can come and be in it for the friendships and make friends. That's the biggest thing I want to stress to everyone is my place is a safe place. Please understand that. I am not part of any of the grouping off and the drama and all of that. And I'm not saying everybody is. I'm just saying that I can only control what I do. And I'm not part of that. And so I'm trying to develop a really safe space for everybody to come and feel welcome and share this hobby. This hobby is amazing. And the thing that boggles my mind is I'm older, you know, I'm 51 years old. I'm not into the games. I'm not into all of that. And, you know, everybody says that, but actually not participating in it is different. Have I been involved in drama within the community before? Absolutely. I did not mean to get involved in it. And I've explained that before, but I made some mistakes and got involved in it. And I feel really badly about how that ended, but it ended. I mean, it is what it is. And I learned from it. The problem that people have is they hold grudges. They don't let you move on from a mistake. They don't let you apologize, you know, and that's where it becomes hard, because no one is perfect. No one is perfect. Everyone has personality traits, personality flaws, whatever you want to call it, that doesn't mesh well with other people. And that's okay. You don't have to be best friends with everybody. You don't have to watch somebody's channel and love their content and love them as, you know, love their personality. You can still be accepting and kind. That's the biggest thing. And that's what I want to stress about what Rebecca and I are trying to achieve with this WIP Detox is you just have to be kind. Like, why wouldn't you want to be kind to people? Why do you have to bully or be mean? I will never understand that. And even when I was caught up in the drama that I got caught up in, I wanted to apologize and make it right, but I was banished before I even had a chance to. And that's not fair. That's not right. I wanted to make it right, but I wasn't given the opportunity to. And, you know, it is what it is. But none of us are perfect. We're all here to learn with each other and be friends with each other. And there's no reason to be mean. There's just not. I don't care how many times somebody asks one question that you think is totally stupid. Just be kind. You know, if you're hosting an event and somebody asks you a question and you think to yourself, I mean, why do you have to ask that question? Why do you have to tell that person that? Just answer their question. There's no reason to be mean. I see it a lot in a lot of different groups that I'm a part of. People just being out and out rude to somebody that might just be new. And furthermore, you don't know if somebody is a young kid and you're making them feel stupid, because you can be young and be in any of the groups. You can be young and be involved in diamond painting. I mean, I'm not saying like 6 years old. I'm saying teenagers. I know teenagers that diamond paint and are involved in the diamond painting community. So just be nice. You don't know what somebody's circumstances are. And who knows what that person is dealing with. And that's the other thing, you know. When I was really stressed out this whole time, nobody knew around me wherever I went. No one knew that I was totally stressed out and having a really hard time. And it's like you're drowning. And people can either make your day or make you feel even worse. And there's just no reason to be mean when you don't know what somebody's circumstances are. And that's what I'm trying to say. You know, and things are really hard right now on so many people. I think we just need to all give each other a break and just be nice. There's absolutely no reason to be mean. I think that's one of the valuable things that I've learned throughout my life, and I'm not patting myself on the back because I have a lot of character traits that are not easy to deal with. But one of the things that I've learned along the way is you just have to, you don't always mesh with somebody's personality, and that's okay. But you don't have to be mean to that person. Just give them some grace and be kind. There's no reason not to be. And I try to be accepting of all kinds of people, because I've had all kinds of people throughout my life be very good friends of mine, and they don't necessarily have the same religion or political or any kind of belief as me, but I can still be nice to them, and I can still be friends and value them as a human being, right? So anyway, that's my soapbox about that. I'm not going to go on about it, but anyway, my point is our little event that we're hosting this year is kind of, I don't want to call it a social experiment, because it's not. It's not an experiment of any kind. It's just a way to interact with all of you in a very pleasant environment. That's what I'm trying to say. Everybody there has a voice, and I want to get to know all of you and know what you're working on, and cheer you on as you go. It's all about supporting and being kind. That's what our event is embracing. So check out Queen of Diamonds WIP Detox 2026. I'll link it in the Facebook. I'll link the Facebook group in the video. I'm going to do that on every video, so I'm not going to say it every time, but just know that it will always be linked in the description of every video that I put out, because I'm really trying to encourage you to be a part of it. Anybody, any of you. I would never decline anybody coming into the group, no matter what. It's not a membership. It's not going to cost you anything. It's just simply for fun and to encourage each other to work on your WIPs, work on your diamond paintings, whatever the case may be in your situation. Let's see. Do I have anything else to update you on? I think that's everything. I went down this rabbit hole. This is so weird, and I just wanted to ask any of you if you have ever done this. My mom was actually watching a video one day. It was a YouTube video. I went into her bedroom to talk to her, ask her a question about my aunt. She's watching this video, and she's like totally enthralled in it, and I can hear it's a male voice telling a story. So when she was done, I said, "What were you listening to in there?" And she said, "Oh my gosh, you need to look this up. This is an amazing story." It was a morgue story, and it started me down this rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos about morgue stories. Morgue, yes, you heard me right. And oh my gosh, there are some crazy stories. No matter what your belief is about death or, what comes after death, these stories will trip you out. It's really pretty cool. So I started down this rabbit hole of listening to those. I probably spent 2 days listening to morgue stories. I'm not a dark person, but I felt like I was really getting into it. It was fun. That is not a normal thing for me. And I actually really enjoyed it. See, that is another reason. Sometimes you just have to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. So I was listening to morgue stories, which then started me down paranormal stories, which is a whole other world of its own. That was really crazy. So I was having fun with that. And my mom and I kept sending YouTube videos to each other to watch. It was fun. So that kind of started a new trend for me. I'm not done listening to them either. I just took a break from it. So I'm going to start listening to that again, probably after I finish this Brian Rollison. Brian Rollison's my artist, my favorite artist. One of my favorites. I shouldn't say my very favorite, but one of my favorites. Brian Freeman is the author that I'm listening to. So the one I'm listening to right now is called... I listened to a book by him called Spilled Blood. That was really good. Was that Brian Freeman? I think it was. And then I listened to Joe Barrett is the narrator that narrates all of Brian Freeman's books. So Spilled Blood I listened to, and then I listened to The Bone House. That was the first of the Cab Bolton series. I really like that. So I listened to that one, and then I listened to 5, 6. Where are you? Okay, so right now I am listening to, oh my gosh, it's the second Cab Bolton book. Real Fear or something. Oh my gosh, I'll try to remember to put that in the screen too. But Joe Barrett is the narrator. I love listening to him narrate these books. I've heard him narrate other books too, I believe. He's great to listen to. I also listened to another John Grisham, and now I can't remember the name of it. I think I actually mentioned that in my last Whip and Chat. It was called The Widow. Yeah. I noticed there's another John Grisham book that is narrated by John Grisham and Dolly Parton. Actually, I kind of want to check that out. Can't remember the name of that one either. Or it's written by John Grisham and Dolly Parton. I don't remember who's narrating it, but I like mysteries and thrillers. They just keep me enthralled big time. And then there was something else I was going to tell you that I watched that was really good on Netflix. Oh, the Carmen family deaths. That was interesting. So I really liked that. And then I feel like Kennedy recommended one to me that I watched, and I can't remember now what it was, but she told me to check it out, and it was really intense too. I'll have to try to remember that and tell you in my next Whip and Chat. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish kitting this up, and then I'm going to show you what I do with my storage containers after my kit up process is complete. Okay, I have finished putting all of the colors in their bottles. So now what I'm going to do is get my, if I can remember what I did with all of my Ziploc bags. Those are all small ones. Let me grab that. All right, I had to dig my Ziploc bags out. So I'm going to write the parade on this so that I'll know what kit this goes to. And then I put all of my leftover drills into this Ziploc bag so that I know what extra drills go with what kit. And all right. Got all of that. Uh-oh. I'm losing drills somewhere. Look at all that. 5,200. So much of that one color. Okay. I put my dryer sheets away because I don't need those anymore. And then I'm going to get my Winnie the Pooh release paper out. I'm doing a voiceover because I cut this and screwed it all up. I showed my address on my washi tape box, so I'm cutting that part out, but I wanted to let you know I got Winnie the Pooh washi tape from Simply Gilded, and I got a Winnie the Pooh cover minder from Galloway's Gallery. That pen is from Kevin's DP Pens, Kevin's DP World on Etsy, and I think that's all of it. So I just wanted to let you know what had happened here. I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Okay, so here we've got all of the drills, and I forgot to show you the order of how I like to put the drills, because when you're going from kit to kit and you've got 25 kits and you only look at the symbols, it can be a little bit challenging to remember the general area of where the symbols are when you pull a kit out that you haven't worked on for a long time. So I have kind of a method that I like to use so that I remember the general area where the symbols might be from kit to kit. So I like to leave the numeric numbers in order. So we've got 1 through 8 right there. Then I like to do the alphabet. So I'm going to take out, I'm going to leave the numbers there, but I'm going to take out any alphabet symbols and put them off to the side for right now. Anything that has a letter, even this one, even though that's not really a letter, I'm taking it out because I don't know why, but my brain thinks it's a letter. And then here's H. Let's see, making sure I don't miss any. This is just one of the little things that I have found helps me work a little bit faster when I'm jumping, like I said, from kit to kit. X and E, put those over here. And then L, V. We have the lowercase a right there. Y. And here's K. All right, so I'm going to move. I'm actually going to just take these out for right now. Just set them off to the side. And we'll come back to those in just a minute. But now I should have all of the letters out of there. Okay. So numbers are right here, and then I'm going to put A right down here because I've got one slot. So we're going to go with capital A. These are just not wanting to fit in here very well. Okay. Then I have lowercase a there. We don't have any B's because generally they don't do a B because B looks like 8. Diamond Art Club anyway. So the next letter would be C, and we do have that one. No D's. We have E, and I swear I saw an F. Yes, F. G, I don't think we have a G, but we do have an H. I know you probably can't see this. Okay, there we go. We don't have any I's because they would look like 1s, but we do have a J, we have a K, and we have an L. This guy over here. Okay. We don't have M, but we do have N, like Nancy, and we have the lowercase n there. If you can't see some of these, I apologize, but you're getting the general idea. P, Q, R, S, T. I thought I saw a T. Was there no T? Maybe there wasn't. Okay, no T. U, V. Oh, we do have a lowercase e. I forgot to include that. So I'm going to move these down. I know this is kind of chaotic, but it pays off because it does make it so much easier to find your symbols as you're working really quickly. Okay, so E and lowercase e. And we've got all of those, and then K. So E, F, G, H, J, K, L, N, P, U, V, W, and X. And then even though this isn't a Y, I'm putting it by the Y because it's just easier for me to remember. My brain goes to Y. Okay, after the letters, now I like to do anything that has to do with math. So if I have a plus sign or a minus sign, here's a division, here's a percent. I know there's an equal sign somewhere. Here's the minus sign. Here's equal, and I thought we had, here's the dollar sign, we're gonna want that. I thought we had a plus sign somewhere. Yeah, plus, okay. So we're gonna go plus minus, and then we've got equal sign. Okay, before equal, we're going to do the division, then equal, then percent, then here's a greater than sign. Anything else that is math related, this is a decimal. Well, I think of it as a decimal. Okay, and then I usually like to try to keep all the dots together. So if we've got those two dots, then this is a double dot. Sometimes you'll have a pyramid of dots, like a trio of dots. That's where I would put that. I don't think we've got that in this kit though. Yeah, we do, right there. Okay. And then anything else that looks like it would be some kind of math. We have an asterisk, we'll put that there, even though that's not necessarily math. Dollar signs, we're gonna put the dollar sign before the asterisk. And then we're getting into, let me make sure, check mark. Then we're getting into shapes is next. So anything that is a shape, here's a square. I think we have another square. This is kind of a square. I'm gonna put it with the squares. This is kind of a square. And then here's a square. So you're just trying to keep the shapes generally in the same area so that when you're looking through your canvas, you'll be able to find them quickly. This is kind of a half square. It's kind of a corner with a dot in the middle. I'm going to put that there. Anything that is semi-square or kind of a square. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we're going to go to the shapes. So we're going to do a heart, a spade. I know there's a club. I just saw it somewhere. A star, a club. This is the spade. That's the diamond. And then we have two diamonds actually. So let's put those by each other. Two diamonds. A star here. And then the spade and the club together. Then I'm going to look for, oh, here's a heart. That's another shape. Then I'm going to look for anything else that is even semi-shapes. Here's another square. So we've got this one here, and then we've got this one. I'm going to keep those together. So I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit. You might be looking at me thinking this is such a waste of time, but it's really not. It's worth it to do this because it helps me just work a little bit faster. It depends on how your brain works, right? This definitely isn't for everybody. Okay. The next thing I want to do is any kind of the symbols that I'm really familiar with that I see all the time. So we've got the bow tie, we've got that, we've got a flower, and we've got, when I say that we see them all the time, oh, we've got a slash, and that should go with the math stuff. So I'm going to move these down and put this diamond. I want to keep the diamonds together. So I'm going to put the heart up here by the star. And then I'm going to move these down and put the slash by the check mark. And then we have all of our squares together up here. Hopefully you can see that. And then the squares go from here to here. And then we have our diamond, both diamonds, heart, star, spade, club, heart, another heart. Let's put the hearts together. Okay. Then any of the random symbols. So like the hazard sign, the hourglass, this one. And then I've got two lines. So I've got the double lines that are straight and the double lines that are squiggly. I'm going to put those together. And then the ladder symbol, I'm going to put with those also. Then we have this weird little symbol and this one, put those together. Then we have this one and a line with a squiggly. We have kind of that pencil symbol. Gosh, these are going to fit really tightly together. And then we've got kind of the alien dude. And I try to save all my arrows for last. And then we've got this one. So I like to group anything that looks like an arrow together. So we've got that. That's usually my last one. So I've got an up arrow, a diagonal down arrow, a curved arrow, a down arrow, a diagonal up arrow. This kind of looks like an arrow, and then that one. And that is how I like to work my drill order, so that I can kind of remember from kit to kit where the general area is that the dollar sign would be found. It's going to be with all of the math numbers. The percent sign is going to be right after the alphabet, plus, minus, you get the idea. that is how I like to do it. So that is how I've got the drills organized. Now I'm going to bring the canvas over and we are going to put the release paper and the washi tape down. I forgot to select the putty and the wax for this kit, so we're going to do that real quick. Now I know I have a baby powder scented wax somewhere, which would be perfect for this because it is for a baby. So I want to find that. It's from, this looks like an unorganized mess, right? And it kind of is, but I do have it organized by company. So bear with me for just a minute while I look through my Dream Wax Studio waxes, because I know I have a baby powder scent in here somewhere. And let's see, where is it? I'm not using it for another kit. Oh, here is the baby powder. So we've got baby powder scented wax right here, a wax brick. That would be perfect for this kit. And now I need to figure out a putty. I do have the Diamond Art Club putty that I have not really even used yet, so I might just throw that in. This is a rose smell though. Doesn't really go along with the wax that I chose. So let me just glance through my putties really quick. Most of my putties are here. All of my Black Dahlia Diamond Art putties are in the Black Dahlia Diamond Art organized over here. But I don't think I have anything from Black Dahlia that would work with this. But I'm going to look through all of these companies really quick. Lavender Dreams, I'm going to go with that, and baby powder, that's my choice. Okay, so I've got my putty and my wax, and I might use Diamond Art Club putty. I've been really wanting to try that. So I might experiment with that, we'll just see. Okay, I'm going to put these away. And put this away. All right. Now I'm going to bring the canvas over and we will lay down the release paper and the washi. And I think this is a really long kit. I mean, this is a really big kit. I did an unboxing of this if you're interested in looking at that unboxing. But I think because of the size factor, I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to start down here with Owl and save Winnie the Pooh for the last. So until I roll this up with a canvas roller, I'm just going to feed it down the back of the kit, or the back of the desk. And then I don't have my light board down, so I'm not starting this right now. I just wanted to show you how I do the release paper and washi. So I've got my Winnie the Pooh release paper right here from Bee's Crafty Corner, and this is cut in 4x4 inch sections. Isn't that cute? I love it. Classic Pooh, and it's on glossy thick. So I'm going to peel this back and use my cover minder to hold the plastic back while I lay down the release paper. Oh, look at all that color blocking. It's going to be a color blocking nightmare. But it's going to be so pretty when it's all done. So I'm going to lay this down. I'll lay that down again so that I get... There we go. And the next one... I like to have my release paper lined up so that I don't have to move the release paper when I do a column right there. So I just try to line it up the best that I can so that I don't have to move the release paper around. Oops. That. And we have a little edge over here that I'll just put release paper down for right now. Even though it's very small, like half section. It's a little more than half a section. Okay, that is all done. I'll put the extras in here for now. Then I'm going to put my plastic back down and I'll put my release paper on it, or my washi tape on the plastic. This is so cute. Now you can use the predetermined sections that come with the, you know how the Diamond Art Club plastic cover has this red dotted line? You can just use those sections. I like to, however, use the release paper and the washi tape method just because that's just my preference. And I also, it's hard for me to peel this plastic, even though it's perforated. It's not always sometimes perforated perfectly where the lines are. So it becomes kind of menacing to try and peel that plastic back. But some of you may do it, and that's fine. You could probably section it off with washi tape and keep your sections really nice and even. But I'm going to use the washi tape release paper method because that's just what I like to do. I'm struggling with this release paper. Or, I keep saying release paper, washi tape. All right, there we go. So I've got the washi tape, and I'm just going to lay that on the plastic. If you do this, make sure you don't lay your washi tape on the sticky canvas or you'll have all kinds of issues peeling that up. Okay, then I peel this back and fold it right at that line of washi tape like that. Why the washi tape? So that when I peel that release paper back, I can see where my section ends at the top. And then I'm not guessing. And where did that little cover under go? Oh, it's right here. I actually have another Pooh Bear I want to use. This one. And I'm going to use 2 cover minders on this. Both of these are from Galloway's Gallery. They're so cute. Okay, so that is how I prepped my canvas, and it's ready to go. So I am going to start working on this, and we'll see how far I get this month. I don't know. Check it out at my mid-month WIP parade and see where I end up. With all the color blocking, I might have to switch my projects a little bit so that I don't burn out of color blocking, especially since it's white. That'll be a lot. But I think it's going to be a really beautiful canvas once it's all done. I'm so excited to be doing this for my grandson. What a fun concept to be doing this for that little guy. I'm so excited. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're all doing really well. Happy New Year. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on my year in review. Bye. It is Christmas Eve, and I came to my mom and dad's to spend the night to be with Kennedy and my mom and dad. She made me this cute little place to sleep in the theater room. So I've got this big air mattress. And look, because I've been sick. So she's got some lavender spray and some chest rub and all these little aromatherapy oils for this cute humidifier fountain. Isn't that cute? What a nice little oasis she has made for me. And Fallon's so happy to be here with me. What a fun Christmas Eve having a sleepover with her. It is Christmas night, and I'm just sitting down. I look horrendous, I know. No makeup, no nothing. I'm on holiday. I am sitting down to watch Stranger Things. I'm waiting for my girls to come out here so we can settle down and watch it. This is probably one of my favorite nights of the year because all of the stress of the holidays is over. And now we're all just hanging out and relaxing and enjoying each other's company. My girls have their mom back instead of the Grinch that they've had all month that has pretended to be their mom. Are you watching Stranger Things? I forgot to ask you and Joel, who do you think is gonna die? Better not be Steve. Fallon, what did you get for Christmas? A new Minky? Did you get a new Minky that's actually Mom's, but she's letting you lay claim to it? Yeah, he thinks it's his.
Does that make you happy? No.
Why? It's so cute, Aunt Sid. What kind of bird is that?
Flamingo.
She was going to say an ostrich, but Nancy just has to answer for you all the time. Just like a big sister.
flamingo. Her neck twirling moves will make you groove, dance, and shake it to 3 funky songs. And collect them all. Look at all these.
There's more.
You could collect them.
There's the monkey. Oh, stop.
There's Bonnie. The monkey is Fifi. Frankie. And there's Bonnie, is a llama, looks like. And there's Poppy,
A
pug.
Cute.
And
we just got back from the vet and Mom is here. Mom, what's the good news today?
the bathroom's gonna be done.
The bathroom's gonna be done. How do you feel about that?
It's fabulous. We really had a hard time for
It has
3
been
months.
a long
Let's see,
3
October,
months.
November, December. Yeah, 3 months.
And Aunt Sid, how are you feeling about the fact that the bathroom's gonna be done?
Walking in.
I knew this would come in handy for me at some point in my life.
Oh, it's lovely.
It's a great invention.
It is.
It goes a little fast though.
It's a dream come true.
It really is. Hi, Alan. This is amazing. It is 1:15 in the morning, and I'm sitting here on New Year's Day. So it's actually January 2nd today, and I'm diamond painting. This is what I'm working on. My little face is a fairy 177, and my guinea pigs are just absolutely going nuts. I don't know what's going on with them, but they're just chattering away, and my mind is just all over the place. This is what happens when I'm up this late. My mind just won't stop. And can you hear them? I mean, they're just running all over the place. They're not fighting. I think they're playing. Yeah. So Fallon is wanting me to go to bed. He's actually laying there just giving me the side eye like, will you stop and just come to bed? Okay, I'm ready to go to bed. And I've already got this little guy right here. He's ready for bed. He's been giving me a hard time because I haven't been ready for bed yet. This is Fallon's bed here at my house, and you can see that he's got a collection of bones. There are, oh my gosh, there are bones. I wonder how many there are. Oh my gosh. Buried in here. Obviously, this is his hiding spot. He's looking at me right now like, what are you doing? Fallon, I think you've got too many bones here, bud. I mean, no wonder he doesn't lay in this bed. Is that all of them? Oh, here's a piece of one. Oh, I found another one. Oh my gosh. Dude has, I think we need to get rid of like 10 of these. There's just no reason. There's no reason. Buddy, why do you have to have so many bones? What's the deal, huh? Oh, you just want me to shut up and go to bed, huh? Okay. This is how we start out our night. And then by the end of the night, he is under the covers with me. He's got his, where is it? I'm seeing it here. Oh, this is his bone. He has to have that up on the bed for some reason. But this is how we start out.